करे अमर कोण आहे हेमंत आहे का हा आले आले गो लाईव्ह कर तिकडनं का तिकडनं लाईव्ह आहे ऑलरेडी लाईव्ह आहे ओके हो स्टार्ट कर Okay. Good morning, dear students. Good morning to the live streaming students also and my PD, GD students. Now, let's continue with communication. Yes, yesterday what were we learning? Barriers of communication. So, we're learning about barriers of communication, right? So, we'll continue with the barriers of communication. Now, let us understand what all barriers we studied yesterday. First, we studied what? Tell me quickly. Physical barriers. Yes, we studied physical barrier. After that, we studied organizational structure barrier. After that, language and cultural barrier. So they're similar, na? Language barrier and cultural barriers are similar. So it's easy for you to remember. And there is an emotional barrier also. Yes, so a person may be emotionally disturbed, his day may not be very good on a particular day, so he is already upset, and that also is a barrier. Or you don't like somebody, there is anger about somebody, there is anxiety, there's jealousy about somebody, so that also becomes a barrier. So that is emotional barrier. Is that clear to everybody? Yes, okay. Cultural barrier, language barrier, and we studied emotional barrier. Now let us read the next barrier. What is the next barrier? Attitude barriers. By the way, wish you all a happy CA day. Yes. Thank you. So let's understand attitude barriers. Okay, what barrier we are reading now? Attitude barriers. Personal attitudes of employees can affect communication within the organization. A proactive, motivated worker will facilitate communication process, whereas a dissatisfied, disgruntled, shy, introvert, lazy employee can delay or hesitate. Now, you know, every person is not the same. Now, if I ask you, come and read something here, some of you would want to come and read. Some of you are having stage fear or having, you know, you're shy. Some of you can't make friends fast. That is introvert. And what is the opposite of introvert? Extrovert, right? So some of you are extrovert. Any new person, you will adjust quickly anywhere. So everybody has their own attitude. A person who is an extrovert, who likes to talk, mingle with people, his communication will be faster. Somebody who hesitates, now who will tell the client? There will be a delay in delivery by 2 days. Then I don't feel like calling him. Then you will delay the communication process. You will hesitate the process. So do you realize, students, that communication, lot of it depends upon your personal skills also? Yes. So in fact, if you see the barriers, many barriers are relating to your personal skills, like language barrier, cultural barrier, emotional barrier, and attitude barrier. Do you understand? So you know what? I'll tell you, whenever you have something to learn, try and relate them and learn. Then it's easy to remember. Like characteristics of communication. How did we learn, beta? C for characteristics. And we saw there were how many C? 6 C's were there. Right? So here also you should try and say, Arey, अपने आप एम्प्लॉयज के ऊपर भी कुछ डिपेंड करता है. सो देर आर फ्यू बैरियर्स विच आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन द एम्प्लॉय. So you are belonging to a particular state, so you know a particular language, you don't understand other kind of language. So language barrier, there is cultural barrier, there is emotional barrier, there is attitude barrier. What did I do? I formed a group of barriers relating to my personal skills. So then it becomes easy to remember. You should link them, form some group, then it becomes easy to remember. So attitude barriers. Yes. So let us understand in attitude barriers. Good morning to all the live streaming students. Yes, come on. So here, personal attitude of the employees. So, you can write down here a proactive, मतलब a very active person. Proactive मतलब खुद से steps लेने वाला. Initiative, a person who takes initiatives. No, if there's a problem, come on, let's call a meeting. Let's all meet and decide what is to be done. So he will, on his own, he will decide this. Proactive मतलब who's very active. On his own, he takes the initiative. Okay, that's proactive. So a proactive, motivated, लिखो, proactive and motivated employee. What will happen with him? There will be fast communication. There will be fast communication. Ekdam make your book very, very colorful. Lot of markings, lot of things to be written down. Use highlighters, use different color pens. First day in the class today. Okay. Notes nahi hai. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. Sit next to somebody who has notes so you can read with them. One of you can go behind or come in the front. Huh? Done? Okay. इसके against what should we write? Tell me. You tell me. Which employee के साथ for which employee the communication will not be good? Introvert, shy. Uska, how will his communication be? He will hesitate or he will delay the communication. Okay, so write down. Either we'll say even a person who's lazy, introvert, or he's not satisfied. He's not happy with the organization. He was expecting a promotion, but he didn't get a promotion. Then you're very upset. Then ek mahina par shayad you will not work for a month or so. You may not work properly. You don't feel like attending meetings. You don't feel like communicating. Hai na? Yes. So let's write down dissatisfied. You understand dissatisfied, no? Dissatisfied, introvert. Introvert, इनका क्या होगा? There will be delay in communication. So is delay in communication good? They may either delay or they may even refuse to communicate. There may be delay or they may refuse to communicate. Is that clear? What, these are you all inter students or what? Khushbu, Ankita, Aarti. Okay. So, did you note it down? Yeah, okay. So how can these attitude problems be solved? Management should sometimes have trainings where, you have these skills, communication skills. Somebody should go and, everybody's given a chance to talk, give a presentation. Then you can overcome your barriers. Okay? Right. Yes. आगे जाएंगे. Perception barriers. Perception. Can we all Google dictionary खोल के आप देखो perception का meaning क्या है? Where is the dictionary? Google only, na? We're going to Google it right now. Yes. So open, come on and find out the meaning of perception. Quick. Super fast. Huh? It's not just understanding. Ability to hear or become aware of something through the senses. Through the senses. Okay. Something else. I still. Insight. Still another meaning?
Way in which something is regarded, understood, or interpreted.
Yeah, I like this better. Perception is आपकी understanding. See, I'm saying something, but how do you interpret that is your perception. Perception is the way you think about something. Okay, so when I say something, perception क्या होता है? अपना अपना हर एक उसको अपना अपना व्यू पॉइंट देता है. So perception is your point of view. Do you understand? Understanding it as per your point of view. That's perception. So I'll read it, then we'll note down the meaning also. Yes, here Saitesh Gupta is saying the ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through senses. Yeah, but normal limits to human perceptions. Yeah, that is why I tell you Google or read the meanings, because one word can have multiple meanings, and which one suits here is what we have to always check. Okay. Perception. Each one of us perceives the world differently. This causes problems in communicating. The same content is seen and interpreted differently by two different people. Therein lies the root cause of miscommunication and misunderstandings. So, if a friend of you tells you one sentence, you are upset or hurt by it. He says, "Arey, I didn't mean to say that." He says, "नहीं नहीं, मैंने उसका यही meaning निकाला. I took this meaning only of it." This is perception and this is misunderstandings. Do you understand? Perception is not only understanding better, perception is understanding from your viewpoint. Same thing that I will tell you here can be understood differently by different persons. ओके अपना अपना नजरिया होता है. व्हाट इज इट? अपना अपना नजरिया है. तो हर एक का नजरिया व्यू पॉइंट अलग होता है. सो बहुत बार यू रियलाइज नो सी देर आर लॉट ऑफ मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग्स दैट हैपन बिकॉज ऑफ दिस. यू से अ सिंपल सेंटेंस एंड somebody else understands it totally in a different sense, in a different meaning. Okay, so see, each one perceives matlab each one sees the world differently. This causes problem in communicating. Same content is seen and interpreted differently, so there are different interpretations. So perception ka meaning is understanding as per your each person's point of view. So we can write perception is equal to perception is what? Understanding as per each person's viewpoint. Yes, so Pranali is saying correct. Ability to understand or interpret. Correct. Fine. Khushbu, your meaning is right. Aarti, it doesn't mean knowledge beta. Soham, ability to understand something, yes, but you are understanding something as per your viewpoint. As per each person's viewpoint. बरोबर? ओके. अरे कितने इस पे ही डिपेंडेंट है सारे. ओके, लेट्स सी. आगे नेक्स्ट बैरियर. Physiological barriers. Physiological is relating to relating to the human body, like you can't hear, you can't see properly, so you have handicapped person, basically a person who has some disability relating to body parts, like a person is his ear is not fully functional, can't see from his eye, 100% vision nahi hai, a person who doesn't have 100% vision, a person who can't hear completely. So there then you need to take the help of the hearing aid. Without that you can't hear. So is communication complete? No. So that is also a barrier. So that is called as physiological barrier. Physiological barrier is ill health, poor eyesight, hearing difficulties, or any other physiological problems can be hurdles in effective interaction with others. Yes, good morning, Aditya. So these can be physiological hurdles. What is physiological? Problems or defects with relating to body parts. That is physiological. Okay, what is physiological? Problems relating to body parts. So you can write down that if you want to note down the meaning. Did you note it down? Okay. Technology barriers. Yeah, what is the technology barriers? The equipment becomes outdated, or because of technology, nowadays technology is progressing so fast, so at a very superb speed. So communication technology is being constantly upgraded, and there are new formats. And what is there? There are new formats. Anyone who is not tech friendly struggles to communicate effectively via the medium. Now, when schools all of a sudden went on an online mode, many teachers who are of a little higher age, senior teachers, they were not used to online teaching on Teams. So, some teachers were facing this problem because they had not used technology. So, you're not tech savvy. What is tech savvy? Matlab, tech friendly, comfortable in using technology, right? So this could be a barrier one, that you are not comfortable, or technology is getting upgraded and you are having an outdated technology, right? So you see na, today you buy a smartphone, you next another month there's a better phone available in the market. You buy a laptop today, there's a better laptop available the next 1 month in the market. So that's so fast that technology is getting updated. What is happening? Technology is getting updated, and therefore we may become outdated, and therefore we may become outdated. Our technology may become outdated. Yes. Moreover, individual is faced with huge amount of information every day, in the form of email, text, social updates. Multitasking is a norm of these days. The information overload and trying to accomplish too many things also can result in miscommunication. Sometimes, life was good without having a mobile phone. There were no distractions. So I remember I got my mobile phone, as a gift for qualifying and becoming a CA. So that time we didn't have phones. So I got a phone because I cleared my exam. So that was a gift that I got. So nowadays you all are getting, even my son, I gave him a phone right from 5th standard, he had a phone. So, something like that. So nowadays the change is that everybody has to have that. Phone is basically good for your parents to communicate. You can talk to your parents if you all are living in hostel here. They are aware of it. You can do a video call. You can talk to a friend who is outside India also. So, all these things are having the advantages, but also it comes with a disadvantage. Office always expects you that you get a mail and it's on your phone, and it's expected that no, you should see. As teachers, students always feel that when ma'am is online, oh, she's there online, she's answering our queries. So धड़ाधड़ फिर queries आएंगे. Then students expect that we should answer immediately. So office staff, office expects that you should answer their queries immediately. So this is that every time you are on the go, or on the you're working. So earlier office hours used to be like 10 to 6, 7, whatever you worked, you came home and there was nothing. But now, after that also, you can just get a message that please, there's an urgent work, please check your mail, or let's quickly do a Zoom call or something like that. Do you understand this? Yes. So too much of communication, too much of overload of information can also irritate you and can lead to a communication gap. Is that clear? The last one, gender barriers, is not there in the new module. So there's a new module which has deleted this gender barrier. Barrier mein kya tha? There are different way in which girls communicate and different way in which boys, male and female communication. Girls talk a lot. It's given here. I'm not saying anything. So here it is said that girls will talk a lot and give you too much of detail. Boys, male, have a tendency of talk to the point and very less, and then they may sometimes miss out on communicating an important message or passing on an important message also. So this is a gender bias, or by default, the system of female and the male is slightly different. But the module then felt that no, now in this growing and progressive world, we need not give this kind of girls are like this and boys communicate like this. It's not right. So they have removed this in the latest module. So gender barrier has been removed, deleted from the latest module. So you can just cut this. For fun, if you want to read, you can just read. The reason for this lies in different wiring of man and woman's brain. Men talk in linear, logical, and compartmentalized manner, whereas women use both logic and emotion, and they are more verbose. More verbose means they use lot of words to communicate the same thing. Men, okay. This may be the cause of communication problem in an office where both men and women work side by side. Men can be guilty of providing insufficient information, while women may be blamed for providing, too much of details. So that is how it is. But the new module doesn't have this, so you can just write down deleted. This has been deleted from the new module. Did you note it better? Yeah, okay. ठीक है? Done. So almost is done. Last little part is remaining. Questions are remaining, and that chapter will be done. What I want you to do is there's a case study. Read the case study carefully, and I'm going to ask you some questions on that. Okay? Come on. Everybody do that fast. ये सोहम लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग स्टूडेंट है कि फेस टू फेस है जो लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग अटेंड करता है? ये देख सोहम इन शॉर्ट बड़बड़ बड़बड़ बड़बड़। तू कितनी बड़बड़ कर रहा है उधर से? क्लास में आ तू पहले। बस में है वो अभी। It's a big case study kind of a thing. Now read it carefully. Done है क्या? Done? Have you finished reading? What? No. Okay. So let's understand. Okay? Can you tell me, was Rohit very confident while giving the interview? He was not confident. How do you know he was not confident? What, he was shifting in his seat, so he was moving from one place to another, or he was, what, clenching his hands like this. Why was he not confident? What had happened? He reached late because of unprecedented, matlab unexpected. Unprecedented is unexpected. He didn't expect, maybe all of a sudden there's some VIP going, so the road is blocked, or there's some work happening, or there's a bus breakdown, so the bus has stopped and in the middle of the road and it's blocking all the traffic. So unprecedented reasons ki wajah se he reached late for the interview. And because he reached late for the interview, he became very anxious and nervous. He was called in. He had to wait for his turn, and that waiting seemed like such a long time, is what they have said. So, interviewers are going to get clues, or they're going to get hints from your behavior also. And then he was also asked to share a joke. Fine, if you don't remember, that is okay. But he was asked to say there was a glass of styrofoam. Styrofoam is like this plastic thermocol kind of material. So he said, what use can you put? Is it given? Is it asked, right? See, Rohit, okay. Tell me about a difficult experience. So what was Rohit's difficult experience? Shifting to a hostel. He said I had to make a few adjustments, so that was a difficult experience. And what did he mention about his achievements? Live streaming students, I need answers. Yeah, what did he mention? Tell me. Yeah. Yeah, he was good in debate, and I think he had won a prize. Yeah, he had won a trophy for that. And then he said, okay, fine, that was one. Innovation se related, he was told, can you just think about some use that you can put this cup, the styrofoam cup that is kept in front of you. What use can you put it? Rohit again fidgets with his folder, takes time. So fidgeting is not required. Even if you don't know the answer, sound very confident. Don't do these things. So again, this is not a good sign that he is doing. He fidgets with his folder, takes time, and then he say, okay, it can be used to carry some clips and carry something. So he was not very on the spot, not a spontaneous person. He couldn't recall a joke. He couldn't think of some innovative way. So he doesn't seem to be a very spontaneous person. A spontaneous person is who can on the spot tell you something. आपको भी कभी कभी ऐसा realize होगा when you have an argument with somebody and then you come back and you say यार I should have told her this point. हाँ तो then क्या होता है, this is not on the spot, आपको नहीं click हुआ वो. Do you understand? That happens at times, right? So not being spontaneous. So you have to be very, very spontaneous and at that time. So of course, I also feel that even when Rohit was asked about his accomplishments, that I got a trophy in some debate, he should have elaborated that. The debate was on what topic, where was it, and in an interview when Rohit was asked, tell us something about yourself. What did he say? Just see. Yeah, read. Who's read it? What?
I did my schooling from ABS Public School,
Huh.
graduation and post-graduation from MET Business School. I am an extrovert who gets along with, he is explaining the meaning of extrovert.
Yeah,
Who
along.
gets along with the other people.
Yeah.
I am also a focused and hardworking person who is result-oriented.
Right. Now I'll tell you one thing. When you're asked tell about yourself, you already give your resume. So don't tell me in which school you were in. You don't have to tell that data again. Then there is a duplication. So when I say tell us something about yourself, we don't expect an answer. Yeah, saying that I'm a hardworking person, talking about your hobbies or talking something else about you. Additional information about you is expected. Because when you say my schooling was from ABS or I did graduation from MET Business School, beta, this data is already there in your resume. You have forwarded your resume, they've gone through the resume, they feel you're a fit candidate, and that is why they've called you for an interview. Normally the interview or all ye jo placement hota hai, there are 2-3 rounds of interviews, So first your resume goes, then this interview, sometimes a written test, an oral interview, then sometimes you have an interview with the HR to fix up your salary and all the terms of your employment and all that stuff. Okay. Yes. So let's read what questions they're asking. Do you think Rohit will be selected by the interviewers? Why and why not? What do you feel? नो पक्का? क्या उसको रिजेक्ट कर दिया तुम लोगों ने? हाँ, क्यों रिजेक्ट कर दिया? Not a very confident person. Yeah. So did you all reject Rohit? You feel that he will be rejected? Yes. So let's read the answer. Rohit is unlikely, matlab less chances of being selected for internship. He revealed his anxiety and nervousness. He did not understand the interviewer's focus, and he gave unnecessary information. He has been unable to promote himself by highlighting his strength. Every person today in the world has to do your own marketing. Even in the exam, when you're writing an answer paper, you have to impress the examiner, the paper checker, because you have to be neat, clean presentation, very nice presentation, underline the keywords, conclusion, your presentation has to be nice, the way you write, you know something, so mention that. Like in law, if you know some additional points, you know a particular provision very well, you know its exception, mention that, so that the examiner knows, yes, the person is aware of, the student is aware and knows the topic very well. Okay. So he should have focused on his winning arguments in debate. His information about his project work is incomplete. Rohit fails to exhibit the ability to think on his feet. Think on his feet means on the spot. To think on the spot, being spontaneous. Beta kya bolte isko? Being spontaneous. Because he could not relate a joke or come up with effective innovations. He could not think of a joke, nor could he think about, chalo joke nahi yaad aa gaya to iske liye to kuch to you should have given an innovative idea. Ya ye nahi aaya to joke to aa jana chahiye tha. At least some point should have been there from your side. Next, which non-verbal cues? Cues का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of cues? Hints. Yes. Which non-verbal cues will reveal Rohit's state of mind? What conclusion they come to? What were his cues? Shifting from one place to another, clenching his hand, and then one more place he was fidgeting with his folder. Now somebody is asking you something and you have this folder or you have a book, you do this and this and this, and then that gives the impression that, oh, you are already a little nervous and tensed. So these are non-verbal clues that mention that Rohit was nervous, Rohit was anxious. Rohit was nervous and Rohit was anxious. Mr. B asks Rohit, tell us something about yourself. What did he want to know? Let's read this answer 3. He wishes to know about his strengths, hobbies, and character traits. Do I wish to know about which school are you going in? Do I wish to know which college have you gone to? No, because your resume has it all. Okay. Rohit says, I'm a Delhi born and brought up here. I did my schooling from ABS Public School and graduation and post-graduation from Amity's Business School. Which principle of good communication has he failed to apply here? 4th, we'll read. He has added irrelevant detail. The interviewer knows about his qualification from his resume. Rohit should have been concise and focused. Rohit should have been concise and focused. Never do repetition. Never do repetition. Okay. While talking about his accomplishments, where did Rohit go wrong? No, 1 minute. Yeah. That question 5 only. Where did Rohit go wrong? Which characteristic of effective communication is missing in his answer? Rohit failed to give a complete information about his strength in debating, details on the project he worked on. He should have mentioned the reason for commendation certificate. तो उसने कुछ project किया. He did a project. He got some commendation certificate, that outstanding project work. He should have mentioned a little about his project work. Debate में what was the topic and how did he win and what were his winning remarks or what was his plus point. He had to elaborate that a little bit more. And last, was there a barrier in his interview? Yes, he was emotionally upset. He was already having this guilt that I have reached late for the interview. So he was, the barrier here is which kind of barrier? Emotional barrier. So you can just mark in the answer, what barrier beta? Emotional barrier. Yes, perfect answers over here. Good. Now there is a process of communication. I'll discuss the what I'll say that process. Then I'll show you the PPT. Questions though are the same. Write a note on verbal communication. Write a note on what chain of command network, chain network. Write a note on star network. So all these kinds of questions. I told you I have a PDF file of communication chapter, all past questions and ICI suggested answers. So I'll share that with you today on your group. So whenever you get time, you can study from there. Okay. 1 second. We'll see a process. Check na. Initially, what page pe there's a process of communication. So I have to just teach you that. किधर है मुझे दिख नहीं रहा है हाँ आ गया क्या है पेज नंबर पेज नंबर 6 ये the main steps inherent to communication are first if I listen ना if there is somebody who wants to send you a communication okay तो जैसे आपको आज मैसेज आया कि आज मैथ्स का लेक्चर नहीं है so you decide यार मैथ्स का लेक्चर नहीं है let us bunk one more lecture and go for a movie so something like that. You're not supposed to do this okay so if you get these ideas but your friend has already entered in the class and you know eco class is going on so you want to message him कि यार मूवी पे चलेगा क्या बट इसे नहीं हर्षद सर है ही स्ट्रिक्ट ही डजंट लाइक एनीबडी लुकिंग एट देयर फोन अब मैसेज कैसे भेजे सो यू नो देयर आर सर्टेन स्टेप्स फॉर कम्युनिकेशन के first what is the purpose of communication what is the purpose of your communication first decide the purpose what communication you want to do with your friend who's sitting in the class and you are outside the class तुमने इको की क्लास भी बंक करी है मैथ्स की क्लास है नहीं इको की क्लास बंक करी है और तुम क्या प्लान कर रहे हो अकाउंट्स की क्लास भी बंक करके किधर जाएंगे मूवी देखने जाएंगे ओ माय गॉड नाउ दिस इज व्हाट इज योर प्लान सो योर फ्रेंड इज अटेंडिंग इको क्लास सो व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन अरे आर यू प्लानिंग तुम मूवी के लिए आ रहे हो कि नहीं सो योर प्लान फॉर कम्युनिकेशन पर्पस क्या है आर यू कमिंग फॉर द मूवी सो यू डिसाइड ओके दिस इज द पर्पस then you will decide the contents so there is a friend who is entering in the class so you tell him wait मैं एक मैसेज लिख के देता हूँ उसको जरा दे देना so you decide the contents you say movie today at so and so are you coming should I book tickets so that is the contents okay then you decide the medium so you decide who's the teacher inside if the teacher is very strict doesn't like us to use mobile पे मैसेज नहीं करेंगे एक चिट भेजेंगे और टीचर्स लीनियंट एनीवेज मैम मीनिंग्स देखने को गूगल करने के लिए बोलती है द पर्सन कैन क्विकली हैव अ लुक एट द फोन देन व्हाट्सएप भी कर देंगे सो यू डिसाइड द मीडियम आर यू गोना कॉल दैट पर्सन आर यू गोना मैसेज हिम और आर यू गोना सेंड अ नोट इनसाइड द क्लासरूम दैट्स द मीडियम सो एग्जाम्पल इंटरनेट रिटन टेक्स्ट स्पीच और यू वांट टू कॉल और जेस्चर करके दरवाजा खोल के जल्दी से उसको बोलने का अरे बाहर आ जा समथिंग लाइक दैट देन ट्रांसमिटिंग द मैसेज messages are misinterpreted due to external disturbance like noise and all we studied that receiving the message then your friend will receive the message करने के बाद he has to decipher means interpret and understand its meaning oh he's saying movie let's go for a movie from so and so अच्छा he's मतलब I will have to bunk the accounts class do I want to do so he says नहीं 1 जुलाई को तो नहीं करेंगे आज तो CA डे है थोड़ा सा सीरियसली ये करेंगे नहीं so you decipher you say no and you message him no so you have sent you decipher make a sense you decode the message what is the meaning what have you done you have decoded the message means you have understood the message and then you understand what's the real message and then you send your response so this is the process see what is the process of communication there is a sender will do encoding he will decide kya message bhejna hai so sender will encode he will message and while messaging he has to decide the channel what was the channel kya option if you are outside the class what channel do you have या तो आप व्हाट्सएप करो या तो उसको एक चिट या नोट भेज दो या उसको कॉल करो या दरवाजा खोल के वो यहाँ आपको पता है आपका दोस्त हमेशा लास्ट बेंच पे ही बैठता है बातें करता है तो लास्ट बेंच पे नो नो, आई एम नॉट सेइंग एनीथिंग टू यू. तो वो लास्ट बेंच पे बैठता है तो तुम बोलते हो यार दरवाजा खोल के वो दिख ही जाएगा, जल्दी उसको बोल देंगे चल तू बाहर आ जा. सो यू चूज योर मीडियम फॉर कम्युनिकेशन. देन यू चूज अ चैनल. देन रिसीवर को क्या मिलेगा? मैसेज. ए रिसीवर को मैसेज मिलने पे व्हाट विल द रिसीवर डू बेटा ऑन गेटिंग द मैसेज? ही विल डिकोड इट. Yeah, decoding, and then he will understand the message and then he will give you a feedback. Now he decides how to give you a feedback. Either he will also send a no and send your chit out, or he say going out is not possible, he may decide to just send you a text or a WhatsApp message. So that's the feedback, the channel, and the process it will go to the sender. So there has been a question asked once, write down the different steps involved in communication. So you should write the above steps and write this, draw this diagram. What are the steps in communication? First you have to determine the purpose. After the purpose, decide the content, and then you decide the channel. कि फोन करेंगे, व्हाट्सएप करेंगे, या उसको चिट भेजेंगे, या दरवाजा खोल के जल्दी उसको जेस्चर से बोलेंगे अरे जल्दी बाहर आ जा. सो यू हैव टू डिसाइड द चैनल एंड द मीडियम. ओके, देन the person is sending the message, receiver will receive the message, he will decode the message, he will decipher, try and understand the meaning, and on that he will do decoding, and then he will send his response. Is that clear? So that is a complete process of communication. Done? Yeah, is there anything that I've left out? No. आज आपको मैथ्स का लेक्चर नहीं है तो होमवर्क है. पूरा कम्युनिकेशन चैप्टर यू हैव टू कंप्लीट इन 2 pages, entire communication, and the first, whose ever chart I'll write, I'll give you some small prize or something. I'll be also taking an online test. Kahoot पे टेस्ट होता है, wherein I'll first teach you some idioms also. Let me teach you few idioms, and this first chapter I'll be taking an online test. So I'll tell you when in next week. Tomorrow being Saturday, I'm not going to take the class, at least this Saturday. So tomorrow I will not take your class. Saturday, Sunday will be a holiday. I will meet you on Monday. I'm not stopping the class. Wait. It doesn't mean कि मैं आपको बोल रही हूँ तो खत्म हो गया. The lecture is not yet over. I'm going to still take the class for next 10, whatever time is there, and I'm going to finish this question reading and all. So what I'm going to do is Monday I'll take the class at 8:15. Then I think Harshad sir is not there for a few days. Has he told you? So you're going to have a holiday for a few days. So when he's not there, either instead of 8:15, I'll take it at 9. Some days I feel no, I need to take an extra, instead of 1 hour, let's have 1.5 hour class. So maybe instead of 8:15, I'll call you at 8:30. Then I'll take for an hour. Then we'll take a 10 minutes break. You go out, have something, and then come back and sit again for half an hour. So because anyways, if he's not there, you're not studying eco, so might as well do a little bit extra of BCR and try and finish it faster. You know how much time you have for your exam? Don't say months, tell me how many days. How many subjects? 4 ही ले लो, BCR को law में add कर दो. 4 subjects, yeah. So 4 subjects, tell me 90 divided by 4. Do it na. Don't look at me. Huh? 20? चलो ले लेते 22 days before your exam for each subject. So are you in a position where you can finish studying this in 22 days each subject? No. So never say months में लगता है कि हाँ 3 महीने एग्जाम के लिए. That's not the reality. Do the counting in days divided by the number of subjects. Then that's a reality check that is done for you. Okay, so let's be a little serious about it. Try, and I know this is theory, it's a little boring, but we'll take breaks. We'll have a song break, we'll do some time pass in between. Like 2 minutes also we do time pass, then your mind is refreshed, and then we'll continue again. So that way, instead of 1 hour session, let's try and have how much better? 1.5 hour. So we are trying able to cover it faster. Is that okay with you all? Yes. Monday, Tuesday, I think Harshad would be here only. So that those days I'll take it at the normal timing only, 8:15. So once I know the exact dates, I think from Wednesday he wouldn't be here is what I think. So we'll decide that. ठीक है? चलो last में questions क्या है? Okay. What is your homework for today? Chart. So I want a very nice chart for communication. In which section will you write? one day before the exam. So just 2 pages across and your chart is neat and nice and complete. Is that clear? Yes. Now, state the types of communication channels by humans. Explain each in a couple of sentences. What are the channels here for communication? Verbal, non-verbal, visual. In verbal, you have oral and written. Non-verbal has a lot of things like symbols, body language, facial expressions, para-language. So, aesthetic communication. So, you have all this under non-verbal. Okay, visual is graphical presentations, PPT, signboards, all of that is visual. Now, what are the main steps in the process of communication? Did I just now tell you the process of communication? I told you like a story. What was that? You were planning to go for a movie. Then abhi just we did that. Huh. Mention the networks used in communication, which is the most effective for teamwork and why. So you have to mention 5 networks. What are the networks? Come on, everybody. One is vertical. Vertical ke baad circuit. After circuit, chain. Then wheel and spoke, and then you have a star. Which is effective for teamwork? Are you sure? Can you just cross check, please? Ritika, how to define vertical network? We marked it in the notes, beta. We've done the marking in the notes. Okay. Which network is effective? Star is effective for teamwork. Yes, because there are no barriers. There is free communication between all members. What are the disadvantages of wheel network? Wheel network mein there is one single controlling authority, Mr. A. You remember? A to B, A to C, A to D, A to E. So everything depends upon A. And it is good in a small organization. But is it good for a big organization? No. So it is not useful for a big organization. And it lot depends upon the efficiency of Mr. A. According to you, which are 5 most important characteristics of effective communication? Give reasons for your answer. Do you know the characteristics of communication? You will remember all. There are 9. So there are 6 C's, it has to be clear, concrete, complete, concise, courteous. You should be polite, courteous, right? Yes. Understanding, listening to understand, emotional control awareness you must have, focus and attention. Right? So these are the characteristics. And which, of course, you can say which are important. You can say what is important. So you can say complete communication is important. Why? Because if it's not complete, the entire message will not be delivered. So you can give, wahi uske jo reasons hai, that same you can mention. What are the barriers in communication? Yeah. So barriers, abhi aaj ke humne barriers. Yes. Okay. How do cultural barriers affect communication? Explain with your own example. Cultural barriers are different countries, different organizations have a different culture. If there is a multinational company, they have this small one-day course or something where they'll tell you the cultures of different countries where you are going to go for work. So cultural barriers may also cause delay in communication. Some words in a different language or some words in a different, there are different work style of every country. So there could be, these could lead to a lot of barriers in communication. Okay. Of course, answers are given over here. Now, itne questions nahi hai. One thing that has got added, just last minute, listen quickly. One thing that has got added in the communication chapter in the new module is, write down here. Here anywhere, page 6, anywhere you have a footer and a header, right? So you write down, new module has added difference between general English and business English. General English and what, beta? Business English. Okay. इसका question and answer I have given you at the PDF file that I'll share with you. It has that thing. But I'll explain. What is general English? Grammar sikhana, how to talk, general English. That is the English language that we are teaching. And what is business English? The English or the communication skills that are required for office, required when you work in a organization. And we as CA level are learning business English. So very small difference between general English and business English. It is added. Question answer form mein I have added that in that PDF file. So you will get it there also. Yes. So I'll quickly show you the PPT. Where is the PPT? अभी कल से मुझे याद दिलाना every day ना. I'll start with few idioms for you all. So first few idioms and then we'll start with the next. I think your second chapter is comprehension. Vocabulary. And after vocabulary? Comprehension. So I'll start with vocabularies, idioms, meanings. So that I'll do side by side. So next I will be tomorrow, I'll be starting with comprehension. Compulsory question on comprehension. Compulsory 5 marks for comprehension. And then you have note making and summary. So if I do note making, summary and all this with you, and communication chapter, 6 plus 10, a 16 compulsory marks, 16 marks ka syllabus will be done and it's absolutely scoring for you. Okay? So quickly let's have a look at the slide show and then I'll... क्या हो गया? I've already shown you. Quickly we'll do a recap. नहीं, एक आखिरी के 2-3 कुछ रहा होगा सिर्फ. Yeah, you know this verbal, non-verbal and visual. Do you know this? Yes, ma'am. Learn हो गया क्या class में? काफी सारा. Have you learnt it in the class itself? Yes. Okay. Next. Process of communication, I just told you. There's a sender, message, channel he will decide. Yeah, he will, receiver will get it. He'll think about it and give you the feedback through a channel. Of course, there are going to be barriers in communication. Also understand there is encoding and decoding. When a sender sends the message, he is encoding it, he is drafting it, and the receiver is trying to decipher it. Decipher it mane understand it. That is called as decoding. Aage. Formal and informal. I told you this. Formal further has 3 things: vertical, horizontal, diagonal. And informal is casual, friendly, and it has no rules. It's unofficial communication. Then you know communication networks. You have 5 networks. Come on, everybody repeat quickly. Vertical, chain, and star network. Perfect. So I told you this also. I showed you in fact. So supervisor. So I think who had asked me here on the group? Yes. So Ritika, ma'am, please explain vertical. Vertical network is a communication from a high level employee to a employee at a higher rank to a employee of a lower rank. It is a two-way communication. That is where the sender sends the message and the receiver immediately sends the feedback. Got it? Ritika, that's your query. Okay, आगे. ये तो अपना ये है circuit. A and B here are going to be at the same level of hierarchy. That is why up and down नहीं है. एक दूसरे के साथ ही है. They are at the same level of hierarchy. Then you know this. Yeah, chain. Or yesterday I came to know about a new term to it. What is that? Scalar communication. Don't use scalar in your exam. Use only chain. We know this also. Here everything is dependent on efficiency of A. And if A is not efficient, your communication will all topple and it's not helpful in a big organization. Star. Star is best for teamwork because there is free flow communication, multiple channels of communication. Aage. The characteristics. So what are the characteristics? It has to be clear, concise, concrete, coherent, complete, courteous, listening for understanding, focus, attention, and emotional awareness and control. Is it clear? What are the barriers? The barriers are physical barrier. So there is an error like technological error or the noise barrier. Then what is the next barrier? Organizational structure barriers. The role is not clear. You don't know to whom to communicate, right? Yes. So you don't know whom you are supposed to communicate. The structure is not clear. The next barrier is language barrier. Yeah. So language barrier is again very difficult. The next barrier is cultural barrier. Yeah. After cultural barrier, there is a emotional barrier, attitude barrier. So somebody is an introvert, a shy person, somebody is confident. Yeah. Then next, perception. Perception is your viewpoint. है ना? Perception के बाद physiological. Physiological is hearing defect, eyesight problem, some defects, handicap person basically. Technology barrier. Are we done with all the barriers now? Gender barriers is now not there. Okay. So that's it. I think we are done. So I have completed with you the first chapter, that is communication. Tomorrow I'll be starting, not tomorrow. Okay, first live streaming students on YouTube. Do we have a class tomorrow? Am I taking class tomorrow? Am I taking class on Sunday? So when am I meeting you? At what time? 8:15. 8:15. If there's any change in any further classes, then I might slightly push it ahead. Otherwise, I'm coming here at 8:15. Is that clear to all the live streaming students also? Yes? Okay. What's your homework? And you have today's maths class, you have Saturday holiday, you have Sunday holiday. So on Monday, I am going to have a look at your charts. Okay? Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye. See you. Live streaming students, are you all having any problem, beta? All right.